Hi guys, this is Dan from Magic Pachinko Restorations with another short video of a vintage pachinko machine. If you enjoy these videos, please consider clicking on the subscribe button down below. Being realistic today, I'm closing in on 250. That's great, I love it, and I especially like the comments that some people send in. It's nice to know that you're appreciated for something you're doing. Also, I noticed recently there's been ads in front of a couple of my videos. I'm not sure why. I've contacted YouTube, but I haven't heard anything back from them. It's not something I'm doing. I certainly don't generate enough traffic for ads, so I kind of question why the ads are there. But at any rate, subscribe if you'd like. MagicPachinkoRestorations.com is the website. Stop in. A lot of good information there. So today we're going to take a look at a 1973 Nishijin Model B. This is probably one of the more prolific machines that was out there. Nishijin made a lot of these over the years. I mean, hundreds of thousands of these things. This one had been stored in a basement where a lot of moisture and actually standing water actually got at the base to the point where the base had warped and misformed, and the machine was actually, when I got it, tipping forward, which is not good. If anything, you want them tipping back a little bit. But fortunately, the wood was still solid enough that once I took the frame apart and ran it through the planer, it got level again, and then when it all went back together, the machine is nice and straight now. So again, a full restoration, including the play field. This is the original play field that was on the machine, and if you compare the green and the blue to the green and the blue, the pink on the original is almost non-existent. So I think sometimes people don't realize what their play fields are supposed to look like unless they see something like this. But that's obviously the original colors of the play field. So everything's off, everything gets cleaned, everything gets put back on. The spinners on this machine were in pretty rough shape, so I replaced those with newly painted spinners. I do put the original inspection sticker back on. So it turned out pretty nice. Unfortunately, there's a little bit of the laminate gone, and I don't have the material or expertise to do anything about that. So it sort of gives the machine a little bit of character, I guess. We'll turn it around, show you the back. This machine was pretty complete on the back side. The only thing that was missing was the dust cover that is sometimes here. It's a clear cover that goes from here to here. Again, the dust covers really don't affect the operation of the machine. Quite often the jackpot covers are missing, the seesaw covers are missing, so on and so forth. But this one had everything intact. The wiring on this, unfortunately, was in kind of rough shape, so I had to do some rewiring. The soldering that they do over in Japan was just subpar in my opinion, but no offense. So what I did is I wired in. I buy the 12-volt wall transformers, and they come with this plug on them. And I used to cut this off and wire it directly to the fuse block up here. But then I found these. So this is just a simple plug-in, which is nice. Now you can plug it in, unplug it, depending on what you're going to do with the machine. This particular customer is going to mount this in a wall cabinet, so that's why there's no feet on it. But when you do plug the transformer in, you notice this light comes on. This is the ball out light, signifying that there's not enough, or in this case, any balls in the machine. It's controlled by this little leaf switch right here, and it turns on and off with the weight shift of the pachinko balls here. Okay. So the first thing that you want to do when you get ready to load your machine up is check the ball dump latch. When I ship them, they are latched, but in transit you never know. They may come unlatched. So you're going to take this piece here and push it over, and it latches. So I usually color this red, just so that you know the two pieces that have to go together right in here. And what that does is when these legs swing like this with the weight of the balls, it allows the balls to go all the way over to the jackpot chamber. If this is not latched, then these swing out of the way and allow the balls to drop down the exit chute to empty the machine. So it's used, but not very often. But when you get ready to put balls in, make sure you latch that. The other thing that you want to be aware of is right here, and that is the seesaw reset. Right now the seesaw sits like this rather than this, and if it is down like that, you simply push up on this little rod and it will bring the seesaw up. This is the starting position for the seesaw. A winning ball will go into the seesaw, the weight of the ball will tip it, and the ball will continue. If the ball is down, then the winning ball comes in and just stays there and ultimately will jam the machine. So always make sure before you play, not before you play, before you load the machine and get ready to play, that this is up. In other words, before you launch your first ball to play the machine. So as always, I tell my customers, when you get ready to load your machine, do it one handful and drop them in. And what you're looking for is to make sure they go down the upper feed, into the turnaround, down into the lower feed, into the jackpot, and then stop. If this were released, the balls would continue and go all over the floor, and you don't want that, especially if you dump the whole bucket in. So this machine comes with 300 Pachinko balls. The customer bought 300 Pachinko balls from me. So we're going to put all but 15 or 20 balls in the upper hopper, which is what you want to do. 90% of your balls go in the upper hopper. You need something similar to this. This is an official Pachinko ball catcher. I don't have enough of these to give them out with the machines, but you need something that's wide enough to catch the winning ball that drops out this little chute and the losing balls that drop out the bigger chute here. So as long as it's that wide and about that deep, it can be made of anything. It can be wood, plastic, metal, whatever you wanted to use. Okay, so I'll put that back in just a second. Swing the machine around again. And you're going to put the rest of the balls in the upper supply tray. Again, put this back where it'll catch the balls. Now, the first time that you launch a ball or attempt to, it won't launch a ball. It takes one cycle to get a ball in onto the launch ramp, so that doesn't do anything. But the next time it will launch a ball. Notice the light up in here is now off because there's enough Pachinko balls in the machine. So you just press down and let it roll off your thumb, and it launches a Pachinko ball. Now, right now, these two tulips are closed. These present a much smaller target when they're closed rather than being open. The idea, the best way to play Pachinko is to launch a ball with enough force to get it up about here and then let gravity take over. So if you press all the way down and let go, it tends to swing all the way over, hit the bumper, and stay on the right side. If you give it a little less pressure, you can get them to stay on the on the right side. You can get them to stay on the left side. But ultimately, you want to get used to enough pressure that you're getting them to launch and drop down. You want to try to launch them and get them to drop down through the middle. And you can launch them as fast as you want or as slow as you want. It depends on how you like to play. This particular machine has plexiglass in it, and I would very strongly suggest once you get this ready to mount in a cabinet, you replace the plexiglass with just a piece of cheap window glass. The machine will play a lot better. The plexiglass is very thin. It tends to be a little warpy, and glass is just a much better choice. So we got to get a win here. Obviously, the machine is set up for the house. I I try to get the machine to pay out as much as I possibly can by tweaking the nails. What I'll do is I'll just cheat it. These are hard to get a ball into, but if you do, it will open the tulip and pay out. And if you get it in on the other side, it'll open the tulip and pay out. Also, if they go down through the middle, they'll open the tulips. And the center attraction, right now these little orange things are up, which essentially closes off the access for a ball to go right down through here or here. But when another ball goes down, these drop out of the way, and then a ball can get in here and trigger a jackpot. So now that the tulips are open, let's see if we can get a few more wins. So there you go. There's your machine. Hope you enjoy it for many years to come. Thanks a lot.